Disrespect is a challenge that we all face at some point in our lives. It can be incredibly upsetting and frustrating when someone disrespects us. However, instead of reacting impulsively or letting it affect us deeply, what if we could approach the situation with wisdom and composure? This is where the ancient philosophy of Stoicism comes into play. Stoicism, a philosophy that originated in ancient Greece, offers powerful insights on how to handle life's challenges, including disrespect, with grace and resilience. In this video, we'll explore 10 practical Stoic principles that can help you cope with disrespect better. I encourage you to stay with me until the end of this video, as these principles can significantly change the way you respond to negative situations. Let's dive in. 1. Keep your calm. One of the core teachings of Stoicism is that events themselves do not cause our distress, but by how we interpret those events. Epictetus, one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, famously said, "People are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them." This means that disrespect in and of itself has no power to harm us. It is our perception of the disrespect that causes us pain. Imagine someone insulting you. Your initial reaction might be anger or hurt, but if you take a moment to step back and reconsider the situation, you might realize that the insult says more about the other person than it does about you. Their words reflect their state of mind, not a measure of their worth. By keeping this in mind, you can maintain your calm in the face of disrespect. Instead of reacting impulsively, which often leads to regrettable outcomes, you can choose to respond with composure. This not only protects your peace of mind, but also demonstrates self-control, a key virtue in Stoic philosophy. 2. Reflect on yourself. Stoicism places a strong emphasis on self-reflection. The Stoics believe that a well-examined life leads to wisdom and virtue. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, wrote in his Meditations, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This quote underscores the importance of introspection in achieving a fulfilling life. When you experience disrespect, it's essential to reflect on the situation and your role in it. Ask yourself, is there any truth in the criticism or insult? Did my actions or words contribute to this situation? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my values and virtues? Self-reflection allows you to view the situation objectively, without the cloud of emotions. It helps you to identify any areas where you may have erred and to take responsibility for your actions. However, it also enables you to recognize when the disrespect is unwarranted and to affirm your self-worth. By reflecting on yourself, you not only grow from the experience but also ensure that your response is measured and aligned with your Stoic principles. This practice of self-examination leads to greater self-awareness, which is crucial for personal development and maintaining inner peace in the face of adversity. 3. Learn to pause. In moments of disrespect, our natural inclination is often to react immediately, whether it's with anger, defensiveness, or hurt. However, Stoicism teaches the value of pausing before responding. Seneca, a prominent Stoic philosopher, advised, "Whenever you are angry, be assured that it is not only a present evil, but that you have increased a habit." This suggests that reacting impulsively, particularly out of anger, only reinforces negative patterns of behavior. The Stoics believe that a pause, a moment of stillness, allows us to regain control over our emotions and choose a response that is aligned with reason and virtue. When someone disrespects you, instead of immediately reacting, take a deep breath and give yourself a moment to collect your thoughts. This pause can make all the difference between escalating a conflict and diffusing it. During this pause, consider the following questions. What is the most virtuous way to respond? How can I address this situation in a way that upholds my values? Is there a way to turn this negative encounter into a positive learning experience? 4. Have empathy. Stoicism is often misunderstood as a cold or detached philosophy, but at its core, it teaches the importance of empathy and understanding. Epictetus emphasized that we are all interconnected and that understanding the motivations and struggles of others can lead to better interactions and greater personal peace. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to take it personally and react with anger or resentment. However, the Stoic approach encourages us to practice empathy. Ask yourself, what might be motivating this person's behavior? Are they acting out of fear, insecurity, or ignorance? How would I feel if I were in their situation? By empathizing with the person who disrespected you, you can see the situation from a broader perspective. This doesn't mean excusing bad behavior, but it does help you to avoid taking it personally. Empathy allows you to respond with compassion rather than hostility, which can often diffuse the situation and prevent further conflict. 5. Concentrate on virtue. In Stoicism, virtue is the highest good. The Stoics believed that living a virtuous life was the key to true happiness and fulfillment. Virtue, in Stoic terms, includes wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, qualities that guide us to live in harmony with the natural order of the world. When you face disrespect, the Stoic response is to focus on virtue. Ask yourself, how can I respond to this situation in a way that upholds my values? What is the most just, courageous, and wise course of action? For example, if someone disrespects you in public, instead of retaliating with a harsh word or action, you might choose to respond with calmness and reason, demonstrating the virtues of temperance and wisdom. If the disrespect is severe, you might decide to assertively set boundaries, showing courage and justice. By concentrating on virtue, you elevate your response above the pettiness of the disrespect. You choose to act in a way that reflects your true character and values, rather than being swayed by the negativity of others. This focus on virtue not only helps you navigate challenging situations with dignity, but also strengthens your moral compass. 6. Embrace acceptance. Acceptance is a central tenet of Stoicism, particularly when it comes to dealing with things that are beyond our control. The Stoics taught that while we can control our thoughts, feelings, and actions, we cannot control external events or the behavior of others. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." When you encounter disrespect, it's crucial to recognize that you cannot control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. Acceptance does not mean passivity or resignation. It means acknowledging reality as it is and responding to it with wisdom and grace. By embracing acceptance, you avoid unnecessary suffering. Instead of resisting or resenting the disrespect, you can choose to accept it as a part of life. This doesn't mean you have to tolerate or condone bad behavior, but it does mean that you don't let it disturb your inner peace. Acceptance also involves recognizing that disrespect is often more about the person being disrespectful than it is about you. People's actions are influenced by their own experiences, emotions, and insecurities. By accepting this, you can detach yourself from the negative emotions that disrespect might evoke and maintain your composure. 7. Use humor as a shield. Humor can be a powerful tool in diffusing tension and maintaining your composure in the face of disrespect. The Stoics, though often serious, recognize the value of humor in navigating the challenges of life. Marcus Aurelius noted that everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. This insight highlights the importance of not taking things too seriously, including the opinions of others. When someone disrespects you, instead of reacting with anger, try to find humor in the situation. This doesn't mean making fun of the other person, but rather seeing the absurdity in the moment. Humor allows you to distance yourself from the negative emotions that disrespect can evoke and to respond with lightness and grace. For example, if someone makes a cutting remark, you might respond with a witty comment that deflects the insult and shows that you're not bothered by it. This not only disarms the person being disrespectful, but also demonstrates your confidence and composure. Humor can also serve as a reminder that life is too short to be taken too seriously. The Stoics believe that many of the things we worry about, including others' opinions of us, are insignificant in the grand scheme of things. By using humor, you can keep this perspective in mind and maintain your inner peace. 8. Set clear boundaries. While the Stoics teach the importance of maintaining inner peace and not letting others' actions disturb you, they also recognize the need for setting clear boundaries. Boundaries are essential for protecting your well-being and ensuring that you are treated with respect. Setting boundaries means communicating what is acceptable and what is not in your interactions with others. When someone disrespects you, it's important to address the behavior directly and assertively. This might involve calmly stating that their comment or action was inappropriate and that you expect to be treated with respect. The key to setting boundaries in a Stoic way is to do so with firmness and kindness. You don't need to be aggressive or confrontational, but you do need to be clear and consistent. Boundaries are not about controlling others. They're about taking responsibility for how you allow others to treat you. By setting clear boundaries, you not only protect yourself from ongoing disrespect, but also teach others how to interact with you in a way that aligns with your values. This practice is an expression of self-respect and essential for maintaining healthy relationships. 9. Choose forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of the most challenging yet most liberating principles to practice in the face of disrespect. The Stoics taught that holding onto anger and resentment only harms us, not the person who disrespected us. Seneca advised anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. Forgiveness, in the Stoic sense, is not about condoning or excusing bad behavior. It's about letting go of the negative emotions that can consume us and prevent us from moving forward. When you forgive someone who has disrespected you, you free yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. Forgiveness is an act of strength, not weakness. It requires you to rise above the situation and choose peace over conflict. It allows you to focus on your well-being rather than being consumed by the actions of others. Choosing forgiveness also aligns with the Stoic practice of focusing on what you can control, your thoughts and emotions, rather than trying to change others. It's a way to reclaim your power and protect your inner peace. 10. Change your perspective. The final Stoic principle for handling disrespect is changing your perspective. The Stoics believe that our perspective shapes our reality. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." This means that by changing how you think about a situation, you can change how you feel about it. When you face disrespect, try to see the situation from a higher perspective. Instead of focusing on the immediate insult or hurt, consider the bigger picture. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this experience? How can I use this situation to practice Stoic virtues like patience, wisdom, and compassion? Changing your perspective also involves recognizing that the disrespect is not about you. It's about the other person. People often act out of their pain, fear, or insecurity. By understanding this, you can detach yourself from the negative emotions that disrespect might evoke and respond with empathy and compassion. This shift in perspective allows you to maintain your inner peace and dignity, even in the face of adversity. It helps you to see disrespect not as a personal attack, but as an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. Outro. Disrespect is an inevitable part of life, but how we respond to it defines our character and shapes our future. Stoicism provides us with timeless principles that can transform our approach to handling these challenging situations. By applying these 10 Stoic principles, keeping calm, reflecting on yourself, learning to pause, having empathy, focusing on virtue, embracing acceptance, using humor, setting clear boundaries, choosing forgiveness, and changing your perspective, you can turn disrespect into an opportunity for growth, wisdom, and self-mastery. Thank you for watching, and remember, the key to handling disrespect is not in changing others, but in changing ourselves. Through Stoicism, we can learn to rise above the negativity and live a life of inner peace and virtue.